Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Something a bit different again. I've got a little test for everybody. Now, this is not to show how clever I am because I know the answers and you don't. It's actually the other way round. It's to show how clever you are, because most of you should know these answers. Some of the questions are related to my orchids, so obviously you have to have been watching, but there's nothing old. You know, I'm not delving into plants that I lost 3 years ago or anything silly like that. This is all current stuff. And what I'm going to do is post the video and turn off comments, so you can't put your answers in there until a certain time, which I haven't actually devised yet, but I will. What I plan on doing for the future, not necessarily the immediate future, is, you know, I post videos most days, sometimes more than one. But what I'd like to start doing is posting what I'll class as my main video each day at a more regular time. The reason being that they just pop up at random at the moment, and you know, maybe catch people out when they're in bed or something like that, and you know, various things. But I'm going to try and sort of pick a more regular time, which I haven't decided on yet, but you know, I'll let you know. So that's one thing. The other thing is another thanks to subscribers. I'm heading up towards the 2,000 mark, which I never thought I'd get to, and it's nice. I'm not sure I'm going to do anything special for 2,000. I did, you know, a giveaway for 1,000. That's traditional. We should all aim for that point. That's a good point to get to, and it takes time. It takes time, but everybody's capable of getting there. You know, I've gone over the things you need to do, in my opinion, is just be yourself and do that sort of thing. So another subject, but there we go. So the idea of this little test, it's naughty of me because I'm using you lot in a little experiment. I've got a set of people that I want to prove right or wrong, and this is the only way I can think of doing it. So excuse my naughtiness, but it's a bit of fun, so just treat it as that. I'll let you know what I'm up to at the end, whether it works or not. Okay, let's get going then. It's only a few questions. I've got 7. I can't think of any more because my head aches. I'm still not over this flipping cold. Okay, question 1 goes with the picture that you're now looking at. What genera is this type of orchid? Yes, we are starting with the easy one. So that's question 1. Question 2, what is the common nickname for Miltoniopsis? Okay, they're commonly known as something orchids. Okay, that's that one. Now question 3, you've got a choice of answers, and if you know your stuff, you can put in as many answers as you like. What's the proper name for slipper orchids? I know at least 3. How many do you know? Yeah? You're not supposed to go and look all these up. This is supposed to be, you know, off the cuff type stuff. Anyway, that's that one. Proper name for slipper orchids. Next one, question 4. What were Tolumnias called before they were reclassified as Tolumnias and given their own name? So what were they called before they were Tolumnias? You know, they're one of my favourites. Right, the next one is specific to my orchids. It is possible to go and find this out, but it might take a bit of work. You'd have to look at old videos and things like that. But there are a set of videos done quite recently, which was a video of every orchid I've actually got. I don't expect you to go and watch them all. You probably know this anyway. What is the rarest orchid species that I have? And for a bonus point, you don't get anything for it, but for a bonus point, where did I get it from? So my rarest orchid species, and where did I get it from? Question 6. This one's dear to my own heart. You'll have heard me whine about this enough times. What are Neophonetia falcata's orchids now called? So what is a Neophonetia falcata now called? And for a bonus point on this one, what's its common name in the country that it comes from? And you can stick the country in there and be a right little smart ass if you like. Right, the next one is relevant to Cattleyas. Now, I haven't got anywhere near as many as I used to have for a very good reason, and it's a shame. I've lost some good ones, and the picture I'm going to put up is one of those good ones I've actually lost. But Cattleyas are classed as high light orchids. They like good light. Not quite as much as Vandas perhaps, but good light. They're that type of orchid. Now I own one that got singed a while ago. It's the only one I've got that does not like bright light. So do you know what that one is? And I'd like its proper name. It is a Cattleya Alliance type. Which one did I singe this year by putting it in the same light as the others? There we go. And by the time I get to the post this, I'll have worked out what I'm going to do with times. As I said, I want to start posting my videos at a more regular time. But I've got to look up time zones. Not everybody lives in the UK like what I does. Yeah? So I need to find out, you know, when it's a certain time in the UK, what sort of time is it in the Far East and Australia and New Zealand, you know, and what sort of time is it in the States? You know, what I'd like to do is pick a time that I'm hoping is sort of quite early in the morning, perhaps in one area, quite late in the evening in another area, and somewhere around midday perhaps in the UK. But I've got to look those things up, and then I'll let you know what that is, probably in the description of this one. And as I said, when I post this today, which is lost track of the week again. It's Friday, of course it is. Yes, when I post this one, I'm going to turn the comments off, and I'll put in the description at what time I'm going to turn them back on when I've worked out what is a good time. And that may not be until Sunday, because I'm out all day tomorrow. It's the Wessex Orchid Society's garden party, and it better not flipping rain. There'll be trouble. But the guy who's hosting it, good friend, has just been awarded the National Collection of Dendrobiums for the UK. Now that is one hell of an honour. And I'm bullying my way into his growing areas to see what he's got. I'm sure he's got a few more than me, but I wouldn't mind knowing how many more. I do have rather a lot of dendrobiums. But yeah, I don't think it's a camera job. I will take my video camera, and if the guy doesn't mind, I'll film around his growing areas and do that as a separate thing. But there's going to be quite a lot of people, and they'll all be milling around, and if I can't get some quiet time in his grow room, it's not really on, because people sometimes object to being filmed and then posted online for the world to see. They don't like being in that situation, and I can't go round and ask everybody individually, do you mind if you're in my video? I just can't do it. So it's a sort of polite thing on my part. If I can get at some plants and the growing areas without getting other people's faces in the video, then I'll do so. Okay, so a little bit of fun, and I'll let you know what I'm up to at a later date. But oh, and if you've got this far and haven't dropped off, you know, nodded off or dozed off or buried yourself in a glass of wine, I've got a new ending to my videos. See if you like it. You can put some comments on that once I unblock the comments. But it's excuse me, it's my first attempt at what I would call a more proper ending like a lot of other people do. I mean, I'm only following the path instead of making my own, but there is a reason for having endings that invite people to subscribe and things like that. I mean, everybody makes a channel in the hope that it's going to grow, you know. So, you know, this is part and parcel of that on my part. It's, you know, inviting people to have a look at some other videos if they choose to do so. Viewing is not compulsory, I've always said. And a little link to actually allow you to subscribe there and then, which that I do think is useful. Not everybody is computer savvy, and it might not be as obvious how to do these things, but by having a link on the end page, you know, you can just click on that and then YouTube does all the work for me. So have a look at that, see what you think. And I hope the music's not too loud. I know some people object to that sort of thing. I've tried to mute the music so that it really sounds like the background and my voice still comes over. But again, opinions in the comments and all that sort of stuff, you know, always welcome. And see you again next time. Thanks for visiting my channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there are some others you could watch below. You can just click on the thumbnails. If you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You can use the link below. I post on most days, so hope to see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by.